Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to LTL Cockerel Week 35 competition results. There's not many of you here, so it should be a quick show today. Yeah, I hope everyone's well, happy and healthy in everything that you're doing. And I'm still a bit under the weather, although I'm now on antibiotics and I'm doing a load of things, blood work and x-rays and all sorts, so we can get to the bottom of why I keep feeling ill all the time. But yeah, today's the results show for all three competitions that we play, and I will come to that in a second. But let's start with good afternoon to Adrian, and Madison's out for the season. Good afternoon to Christopher Inshaw. Good afternoon to Drula. Good afternoon, Graham, who's working. Good afternoon to Puppy. Hope you're well, mate. And good afternoon to Archer, and I hope you're well, Archer. Right, start with what we normally start with, and that is Predict the Prem football. And Predict the Prem. There's your league table. Graham still holds a 7-point lead over Rob Belcher. With 3 weeks to go, I think in all honesty, it's between Graham and Rob now. It's Graham's to lose, so to speak, but it's between Graham and Rob. Everyone else is just making points up, but not enough to catch Graham and Rob at the moment. I'm still climbing, well, not climbing, but I'm closing the points gap down, which I'm quite happy about. But that's where we are for Predict the Prem. And like I said, there's only 3 weeks to go in that. So Graham is there to be shot at, but Rob is the only person that's doing any shooting. So Rob's probably got an A47. He's trying to spray bullets everywhere and see if he can hit. But it's between Rob and Graham, I would have thought. Right, moving on to fantasy football. Good afternoon, Ryan, mate. I hope you're feeling better. I am a little bit, but not where I need to be at. Fantasy football, people. In fantasy football, we have no movement from the bottom 10. It's been quite weird because these last few weeks have been up, down for quite a lot of people. If people have used their wild cards really early, they have not been able to use them at the end, and it's shown on some people's scores. Anyone in green? So Leo has gone up into 45th place, scored 61 points this week. Ozark Nick has gone up into 43rd, scored 69 points this week. Scott Colliver is up to 38th and scored 64 points this week. Neil is up to 37th and scored 56 points this week. Robbie is up to 35th with 48 points this week. Jeff is up to 33rd with 44 points this week. Up into 28th is Adrian Cheer with 48 points this week. Phil Coys is up to 27th with 45 points this week. Steve Reformato is up into 26th with 47 points this week. Marlon is up to 21st with 47 points this week. Smilton is up to 16th with 68 points this week. Yours truly is up to 11th with 52 points this week. Matty K is up to 9th with 62 points this week. Side Dancer is up to 8th with 53 points this week. And Ryan is up into 3rd with 50 points this week. Looking at this, I think Ped holds a 43-point lead over Nick. There's an 80-point swing between Ryan and Ped, but so depending on what people have still got left in terms of any wild cards will dictate where the title is going to go this year. But Ped still leads. So Graham leads in the other one, Ped still leads in this one. Right. Good afternoon, Dan. Dan's here. Good afternoon. Puppy, you're more than welcome. And Drula says she had a stinker this week. Right. It's the question I'm going to ask you guys. How many points do you think you got this week? So this week, there was 22 games that we predicted. And I'll come to that in a minute. But we haven't got many people watching, which is fine, because it means I can steamroller through the show. I've got a question to ask you all. Christopher, you can only tell me one. You give me two, don't you? Damn, Christopher Inshaw says 13 or 14. I'll have to play with Chris because he's not picking one. You've got one of them. You do have a score of either 13 or 14, Christopher Inshaw. Dan says he got 15. Did Dan get 15? Find Dan. Dan said, right, Dan scored 15. Yes, Dan, you scored 15. Christopher's then saying 14. Yes, Christopher, you did score 14. Archer says he had a stinker and scored 9 points. Archer, you scored. Did you score 9? Yes, Archer, you did score 9. Anybody else? That's only 3 of you that's told me. Nita says, hi, Jose, my prediction was poor this week. Let me just say to you, right, that the average for this week, and we did 22 games, and the average for this week was 9.32. 9.32 was the average this week. And we had, how many players took part this week? So 59 players took part this week. 59, yeah? 59 players took part this week. And it's an average of 9.32. And of the 59 players this week, seeing that we had 22 games, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 29 people. 29 people got double points out of 59 people that played. So basically 50% of people got double points and 50% didn't, and the average was 9.32. Daniel says 15, not even a great score though. Drula says she thinks she got 7. Drula thinks she got 7. Let me see what Drula got. Anyone else care to tell me what they think they might have got? Drula, you did get 7. Adrian says he got 10. Now I've got to find Adrian. Adrian thinks he got 10. Adrian did, in fact, get 10. No one else? No one else coming in. Right, so I'm going to share with you. And what we'll do is after I share it with you, I'll ask you a question. Where's it all gone? They were here in a minute. Okay, there we are. Here we are. Right. We have got, it's a massive screen because there's 22 games. Take the cockerel out of the way. Right. So, in order, the first game was Nottingham Forest 0, Brentford 2. And as you can see on this screen, only 2 people went for the away victory there. 3 people went for the away victory there on the second page. And 2 people went for the away victory on page number 3. So therefore, nobody predicted the correct score in the first game. No one had the 0-2. The next game was Man City 1, Wolves 0. And in this one, if you've got orange, it means you went the right way, but you didn't get the correct score. But the correct score came in from Kuva. So he picked up 3 points. Agaro went for the correct score and picked up 3 points. Oh, so basically, where are we up to? It's Bobby Kane. Okay, so there's a bit of repetition on Mr. M. Was Mr. M the last person in? Okay, so the last 4 people, there's a bit of repetition on page 3 because from Mr. M downwards, it's people that we couldn't get onto page 2. So basically, only 3 people got the correct score line there. Villa 1, Fulham 0. A lot of orange there going for the home victory. Tigaro got this one correct again, 1-0. Tigaro asked for 1-0 across the board and ended up fluking two results there. And that was it. That's the only people that got that correct. Everyone else in orange just picked up a point. Everton 2, Ipswich 2. 2 people got a point each on the first page for predicting a draw of a different kind. And then on this page, there's 3 more people predicted a draw and got a point. And that was it. Then we've got Leicester 2, Southampton 0. I've predicted the correct scoreline there. And there's a smattering of orange that have gone for the home victory. There's a smattering there of the home victory as well. And James also got the 2-0 prediction correct. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Correct predictions are coming in from me, Edem, Jess. Rob Belcher had the away victory. And then you've got Side Dancer correctly predicted it. So did Dekaru. Potato Stew had the away victory. And James again got correct prediction there. And got a green as well. Then we had Brentford 4, Man United 3. Big scoring game. It was 4-1 at one stage. It came back to 4-3. With this one, you've got a load of stacked orange there for people that will go for the home win. Quite a bit of orange on page 2 that went for the home win. And all 3 at the bottom there all went for the home win. So everyone scored a point, but no one actually predicted that game correctly. Then we went to Brighton 1, Newcastle 1. 3 people on the page 1 predicted a draw, but not the correct draw, but got a point each. Correct scoreline came in from the doctor. He said 1-1. Dekaru predicted a 1-1. Stacey predicted a draw, and nobody on page 3 predicted the draw at all. Then we got West Ham Tottenham, a 1-1 draw. Now look at the blanket of white there. Blanket of white. So people that went for the draw. So Nita picked up a point, and so did Neil. But the correct scoreline came in from Dan and Alan. A draw for Spurs, Side Dancer, and the Doctor. Correct scoreline from Smithy, Vindaloo, Nick, in the bin. A point for Kate. A point for the Wiz for predicting a draw. And that was it on that page. Then we went to the last, it's penultimate. Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1. I would have had the correct scoreline in this game. If they let the game go on for a further 15 seconds, the penalty wouldn't have been given. They got the penalty with 15 seconds remaining, and it would have been a 2-1 prediction for me. But they got the penalty, and it made it 3-1. So 5 people on this page predicted a home victory and got a point. However, Colin from Talk and Ball correctly predicted 3-1. Vindaloo predicted a home victory and got a point. Tigara predicted a home victory and got a point. And James predicted a home victory and got a point. The last game of the Premiership was Palace 1, Forest 1. And here you've got the correct scoreline for Colin B, Jimmy H, Shemtam, Paul G, Dan Coys, Kuva, Ryan G, Dekaru, Chang, Luke, and that was it. They're the people that all correctly predicted. Anyone else in orange, you've got a point for predicting a draw. Right, going into the bonus games. We had 12 of them, and the bonus games were all the championship matches being played on the final Saturday, yeah, the final Saturday of the season, of the regular season, because they now go into the playoffs. And the first game ended up Bristol 2, Preston 2. Preston were 2-0 up. Bristol came back to make it 2-2. And Rob Belcher picked up a point for he had a draw. In the bin picked up a point for having a draw. And that was it. There was no one else that had the draw there. Oh no, sorry. In the bin picked up a 1-1 draw as well. Then the next game ended up with Coventry 2, Borough 0. Excuse me. Correct scoreline for me. Smattering of orange there as well for people that went for the home victory. Well, quite a bit of orange there as it goes. And then there's quite a bit of orange on the page as well here. And only, yeah, there's no orange there either. The next game ended up being Derby 0, Stoke 0. And the only people that picked up points here for the draw were Shemtan picked up a point, Big John picked up a point, Neil's picked up a point, Rob Belcher's picked up a point. Top Spurs picked up a point, Side Dancer picked up a point, Graham's picked up a point, Luke picked up a point, and so did Grant Packham for all Gavin draws, but nobody got the correct 0-0 draw scoreline. The next game ended up being Norwich 4, Cardiff 2. I had a 3-0, so at half time I was on for the 3 points. I knew it wasn't going to stay that score, but in the end it was 4-2, and all but 2 people picked up a point on the first page for having the home victory. And then quite a few people are in orange on the second page, but nobody correctly predicted that scoreline, so it's a point for people. Then we went to Plymouth versus Leeds. Leeds, whose Manor Solomon scored a goal that gave them the championship really late on in the game. And so Leeds hit the 100-point mark and went up as champions. And the only person that correctly on this page, so 2 people correctly predicted the scoreline on this page, and that was Jimmy Hotspur and Neil correctly predicted the scoreline. Everyone else in orange, because the majority of people went for a Leeds victory, got a point. On the second page, however, you had more people. You had Colin picked up the correct score. Lee Whiskid picked up the correct score. Yeah. The mum. Oh, is that the mum? No. Luke and Stacey picked up the correct score as well. So well done, you guys. And then this down the bottom, there's a bit of orange there as well. Then we went to Portsmouth 1, Hull 1. And correct scores came in. This one came from Christopher Inshaw, got the correct score. Ronnie, correct score. David Clark got the correct score. And Ryan G got the correct score. A couple of people had a draw there and got a point. Correct score lines also came in from Smithy, Peter Kagaias, David Shear, Vindaloo. Bobby K, correct score line as well. Stacey, correct score line. And that was it. Then we went on to Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1. Correct scoreline came in for this one. Only 2 people on the first page, but both got it correct, and that was Colin Blackshaw and Paul G. And then you also have Colin, Lee Smithy Smith also predicted the correct scoreline. And then we went on to Sunderland 0, QPR 1. 2 people predicted an away victory on this page. And then you've got another 2 people that correctly predicted an away victory. But the only person that got it right was Stacey got the correct score line there. So Stacey in the championship did really well, but she had a really poor premiership, but she had a really good championship. So she's done well there, Stacey. And that was the only person that got the correct score line. Then we had Swansea 3, Oxford 3. Really entertaining game. And on the first page, 4 people predicted a draw, but no one predicted the 3-all. And then you've got 2 people that predicted it on page 2, a draw and got a point. And 1 person on page 3 also predicted a draw. So at 1 point, no one got a green there. And then we went with Watford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And on this page, 4 people have predicted the correct scoreline. And that was Archer, Colin Blackshaw, Ian Meth, Ryan G, Smithy. And that was it. The correct predictions came in from them. And then your last game of the week was West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton 3. So it's the highest goals, the highest scoring game of the weekend in Premiership and Championship with 8 goals. And the people that went for the home victory, I think a lot of us sentimentally wanted Luton to stay up, and therefore quite a few of us went for Luton away. They were 5-1 down at one stage. But as you can see, only 5 people predicted the home victory on page 1. Eight people predicted the home victory on page 2. And that was it. Where you see gaps, so on here, Paul G missed the last 3 games last week, and therefore there's a gap of 3 games. And then on page 2, where you see gaps, so Colin missed 1 prediction. Destiny only did 2. Matthew did 1. Henry Thong did 9 out of the 10 prediction, or missed out 1 Premiership prediction, didn't come back for the second show. And then you've got Jim, Chang, Kate, and Jim who do the Premierships, and also Potato Stew, and also Hanno. Richard only did 1 prediction. Mr. M on the show that we did Sunday, or yeah, it was Sunday. No, the member show. It might be the member show. He gave 6 predictions. Who's after that? And then James left the predictions for the Premiership on the after the first 2 games. So he would have left it on Saturday afternoon after the Arsenal. It was the Arsenal second game. No, Man City. So Grant and James both left their predictions in the show after Man City had kicked off. So therefore, the Man City game didn't count for them. But James only predicted Premiership, didn't come back and do the other ones. And Grant predicted everything bar 2 games in the Championship. So, guys, they're your points this week. Sorry, excuse me. Let me go up and have a look, see what your comments are saying. So what do we have? What do we have? I'll make sure we've got everyone's in here. Right, there we go. Right, so Peter is just joined, says hi, 116 in Melbourne. So that's 13 minutes ago, but I've been reading. Ryan says, why did I back Southampton? Here we go. We've got Colin Blackshaw says, good afternoon, Jose, out your world. Paul G here says, good afternoon, Jose in chat. Ed M11 says Christopher Inshaw. Okay. Oh, it's Christopher Inshaw, you're right. Ed M's got a 1-1 draw for the Tottenham game. Right, so change that for Ed M. Ed M 1-1 for the Tottenham game. Right, we'll make Ed M's green and we'll give him 3 more points. Let me give him 3 more points. So Ed M goes to 12. Ed M on the I can't change the league table at a later stage, so I'll just do it now and see. Does it? If it affects, I'll explain. It does affect. It does affect 3 points against it. So Edem actually climbs 2 places. So Edem climbs 2 places with this, but it won't show on the system at the moment, on the screen at the moment. But when I come to it, but he does climb 2 places. I started with putting 1-1 with Spurs game, but changed it to 2-1 to West Ham. Oh, of me, of little faith, says Archer. Said on Friday, none of you had a lot of faith. Paul G says 11 points, and I missed 3 games. I'll take that, says Paul G. The championship game's pissed off. I barely got any points on them, says Dan. Shemtam is here. Shemtam says, hello, Mr. Bossman Jose. Hopefully you are well. I didn't think I did very well this week. Shemtam, you, sir. Right, let me have a look, Shemtam. What page are you on? Are you on the second page, Shemtam, or the first page? Let me have a look. We will find you, Shemtam, and we will tell you what you did this week. The man of the week, as you can see, was Smithy this week. Shemtam, you scored 10 points this week, Shemtam. 10 points for you. Senor Garcia says, Smithy, you got man of the week. Man of the week, Smithy. So basically, the points this week are, so Jose 16. That work? Yeah. Jose 16. Archer 9. Hull Simpson 9. Christopher Inshaw 14. Colin Blackshaw 13. Ronnie 12. Edem 12. Jess 14. Jimmy Otsworth 13. Adrian 10. Nita 5. David Clark 13. Shem 10. Page 5. Big John 9. Ian Meth 9. Paul G 11. Dan Coyce 15. Kuba 11. Queen Ellie 10. Neil 11. Alan 11. Ryan G 17. 9 for Mikey Romero. Wayne Bonner got 7. Rob Belcher scored 8. Darren scored 5. Totspurs 10. Cy 12. Colin 16. And Colin missed 1 game. Gus Parker 9. Destiny 5 1. Matthew 1. Nick 8. Drew Lat 7. Henry Thong 4. Smithy 18 and man of the week. Peter Kagaias 9. David Shear 13. Vindaloo 15. Graham 10. Bobby K 12. The Wiz 7. Dekaru 16. Jim 16. Sorry. Dekaru 16. Jim 3. Chang 6. Kate 4. Nick 6. In the bin 10. Potato 3. Tigaro 13. Stacy 13. Luke 13. Hanno 3. Richard 0. Mr. M 1. Jimmy Talks Football 9. Spurs fan John 6. Grant Packham 7. So they're your points for the week. Now, like I said, the person who changes will be Ed M. Ed M, with the changing of 1 result, changes his position by 2 places. So the league positions are as such. Right, let's go to the league positions. So from 138th to 119th, there has been no movement in the sense that no one has climbed. So that remains as it is. However, on this page, from 118th to 90th, Matthew has gone up to 105th. Henry Thong is up to 92nd. Shemtam is up into 79th. Wayne Bonner is up into 72nd. Luke is up into 71st. And although they've got the same points, Luke is above Wayne by for having more correct scores. And that's how we play the goal difference. Nick Collison has gone up into 58th. We had no one break the 100 points this week. So we still have only 64 players that have broken 100. But we've got some players here that should be able to break 100, depending on how many games we've got left. Then we move on up. In the bin is up into 57th. Page into 54th. Christopher Inshaw into 50th. Colin into 48th. Chang into 46th. No one broke 200 points this week, but there are people in the line to break 200 points. Stacey is up into 41st, and Dekaru's up into 40th. Dekaru is ahead of Stacey by virtue of more correct predictions. 32nd and breaking the 300 points is Jimmy Hotspur. So well done, Jimmy. 31st and breaking the 300 points is the Doctor. So the Doctor and Jimmy have both broken 300 points. So well done to you both. And the top of the table, Peter Kagaius is into 28th. Queen Ellie is into 27th. Vindaloo has gone up into 24th. Ed M is 16th. Smithy is 17th. And Colin Blackshaw is 18th. All three moved up. They're on 368, 367, 366. Because I didn't put a correct score in for Ed M. So Ed M is 1 point ahead of Smithy. So they all go up, all three of them. Adrian has broken the 400-point barrier and sits in 10th. Adrian and Ian Meth in their private battle. Adrian has cut Ian's lead down to 3 points. Then we have Ryan G, who's gone up into 5th place because he had a really good week, Ryan, this week, and he outstripped those around him. I think Ryan scored 17, if I remember rightly. So with that, Ryan has moved up. Yeah, Ryan scored 17, so Ryan's moved up. And the other person to make a move this week was me. I went above Carl Simpson because I had a better week than Carl. So, yeah, I've gone above him. Graham is still second and Daniel is first. So I think Daniel's extended his lead over Graham because Daniel scored 15 this week and Graham scored 9. So Daniel would have extended his lead over Graham by 6 points this week, a further 6 points. And I've cut Graham's lead from me by 7 points because I scored 16 and Graham has scored 9. Carl Simpson scored 9 and Ryan G scored 17. So, yeah, 3 weeks to go, guys. 3 weeks to go. All right, what are your comments on that? Because it's 3 weeks to go. Right, who you got? Who's just come in? So Paige has come in, says afternoon, Pete. Good afternoon, Paige. Jimmy Hotspur says big up, everyone is here as well. Luke 71st. Daniel says, Luke, you're going places because you're moving on up. Kuva is here. He says, oh, FFS, I finally gained some points on Carl. And then Ryan G goes crazy with his points. Jimmy Hotspur says, I'm in the 300 club. Well done, Jimmy. I've got 3 weeks to try and get to 500. It all depends on what you guys say to me. And Graham says, congrats, Dan and Jose. I had and Graham is working though. He says I had her and I can't see what the rest of his money. Right, so this is where you guys come in, right? This is where you guys come in. There are 3 weeks to go, right? And this is all down to you guys now, right? This is all down to you guys. So I want you guys to tell me, right? This weekend, there is a full set of Premiership fixtures. So that's 10 games, right? And I'm happy to do the 10 games for the Premiership. But it's up to you guys on how many bonus games you want. And if we're doing the bonus games, I'm going to split them into 2 days again because otherwise it becomes too much. So I need to understand from you guys. So you guys have got to tell me, put your numbers in there, how many bonus games are we doing? And then what I'll do is I'll go with the majority. So you guys got to tell me. There's 23 of you watching now. So all of you have got to tell me how many games you want. Within reason, how many games do you want? So Christopher Inshaw, 20 bonus games. I'm not going to do 20 bonus games, Chris. Or are you saying 10 bonus games and the 10 normal games? Okay, so everyone's putting 20. I'm not going to do 20 bonus games. So are we saying 10 and 10? Are you saying you want 10 bonus games? Is that what you're saying? Right, Ryan G says 10 bonus games. Paul G says 10 bonus games. Christopher says 10 bonus games. Paige only wants one bonus game. Right. So far I've had 4 votes. I've had 4 votes and there's like 24 of you watching. So Jimmy Hotspur's 10. We know we've got 10 games already for the predictions. How many bonus games do you want? So that's 5 votes we've had. 6. Smithy has voted as well. Archer's voted. That's 7. Well, 7 doesn't give me a majority because there's 24 people watching. And only 7 of you have voted. 6 have gone for 10 and 1's gone for 1. I was hoping to like get some sort of an idea of what I'm doing, but there's only like 7 of you that have said anything. There are 25 people apparently watching, so we haven't even got 33% of the people that have said anything yet. Right, Ronnie. Ronnie says 10 bonus games. Right, Ronnie, did you manage to see? Did you manage to see the results, Ronnie, and the league table on that? If not, I can bring it back up for you. So that's 8 people that have had this say out of 26, and so far, okay, 9 people have had this say because Drula's come in as well. Paige has come in, so she was part of that. So 9 people have told me at the moment, but there are 26 watching, and 9 people have told. 0 bonus games. Just finished this. I'm not winning, so it's all shit, and I want next season, says Cuba. Gemtown says 30 bonus games because he needs to catch up. The interesting thing, Shem, I mean, I know you've been around, but you've never taken part. You've been around, but never taken part. You've been around, never taken part. And then all of a sudden you've taken part, and I think you've got the bug because you since you took part, you're doing them week in, week out. And had you started doing them a lot earlier, Shemtown, I think you would have been right up there, to be honest, right up there. Yes, it has. Yes, seen it. Thanks, Jose. Just look, only got 12 points, still in 8th. Right, so the issue that I've now got, right, is that if we're doing the 10 extra games, how did I do it last week? Did I do the Prem games first and the bonus games on the Friday? Right. The issue that we've got is I'd prefer to do the 10. Normally, I'd rather do the 10 Premiership games on the first show, right? But the thing is that with two of the teams playing tomorrow night, Man United, Tottenham, it might be too early for people to try and predict what's going to happen on the Sunday games, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, so Tottenham and Man United are playing tomorrow, but what we'll do is I will do a show tomorrow. Right, Shentan says, "Oh no, well, hearing you talk like I have a predictions addiction, I quit cold turkey." Right, okay, so what we'll do then is we will do tomorrow. I'll do a show tomorrow, and we will do the Premiership predictions tomorrow. Yeah. So I'll do a show tomorrow, and we'll do Prem predictions tomorrow, and I will do a show on Friday, and we'll do the bonus games on Friday. Yeah, how's that sound? Predictions for Premiership tomorrow, and bonus predictions will be on Friday. Now, no promises. We'll do at least 10 on Friday. I think, Paul, I'll start tomorrow's one at 4 o'clock, but Friday's one I'll start it at 3:30. So 4 o'clock for tomorrow for the Premiership predictions, and we'll do 3:30 Friday for the bonus predictions. Yeah, does that sound all right to everyone? We've got 29 watching that. If people have just tuned in and they don't know what they scored in that this week, just ask me and I'll bring it up before I finish the show. Yeah, Colin, I'll have to go and find the. It was easy enough to do last week because there was 12 games in the championship, so it was quite easy to just do the championship and that was it. However, with the championship and all the leagues now finished, I'm going to have to go and search for the bonus games to do for the weekend. It was easy in the sense as well. Doing Saturdays, doing the predictions, including the championship, was easy because everybody kicked off at the same time. So therefore, everyone finished at the same time. So, you know, in a point in time on Saturday evening, I was able to just go in and update all the prediction sheets because 12 of the games had finished at the same time. When we do bonus predictions from around the world, you've got some people that kick off 6 o'clock in the morning our time here in England, and some people end up scoring. Some people end up kicking off at 11 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday. So you're waiting till Sunday. You're waiting till Sunday to update the table. So yeah, right, Jimmy. Right, Jimmy. Right, where are you, Jimmy? Jimmy, this week you scored, mate. Jimmy, you scored 13 this week. Scored 13, Jimmy, on that page. And Els Bells, because I can see that Ellie's just joined us. Ellie, you scored 10 this week. It's not Ellie. I've got to go for bloods tomorrow, and I've got a chest X-ray booked in for next Tuesday because they're concerned that on my left-hand side I've got a lot of cackling. So we'll have to wait and see. Right, 13 for you, Jimmy. 10 for Ellie. And in the league table, in the league, Ellie, you're up into 27th. So you can see yourself there, Ellie. You're up into 27th. And Jimmy H, you broke the 300 mark. You're there. You broke the 300 mark. You're in 32nd. Right. Is that ever? It sounds cool. So I mean, yeah, Colin, I understand what you're saying, but I've got to find at least 10 games, and I prefer them to be. I prefer them to be one day, and because it's easier to do that. And doing the championship ones last weekend worked out a treat, as I said, because they all kicked off at the same time. So when you're doing the results, half an hour after all the kickoffs had finished, I could go in and do all the results. So I'm knocking out. Excuse me. I'm knocking out 12 results in one go. When we normally do the bonuses, if I'm picking them from around the world and like I normally do, at the end of the day, you can only pick the leagues that are still playing. And sometimes I pick games that kick off at 6 o'clock in the morning at our time on a Saturday. And then the last kickoff could be at 11 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday. So basically, I'm not able to update till the Sunday, because the games have kicked off. So it's much easier when the games are all together. But there's not many leagues. I mean, I'll wait and see. But What we'll do, right? What we'll do is we'll agree with the plan that you lot have agreed. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, we will do the Prem predictions tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And we will do the bonus predictions on Friday at 3:30. Yeah, hopefully that's understood for everybody. Yeah, so tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Premiership predictions, and then we will do the bonus games on Friday at 3:30. Let me just make sure that I'm right in what I'm saying about the games. I don't think there's a game Friday. I think there's Saturday, Sunday, and possibly Monday of next week. But Friday there's no match. Premier League, there's 5 games on Saturday. Oh, and there's 5 games Sunday. Oh, brilliant. Okay, I might be able to get everything done. Right, in that case, then what I'll do is, yes, that means the results show be on Monday. Right, so what we'll do is I will do the 10. I'll do the 10 predictions, Premiership, and I'll make a decision that we do at least 10 on Friday. Yeah, I might go a bit above the 10. I might go for 12 again. I'm not promising anything. I'll go for 10 for definite, and then we'll see what we are for like for time on Friday. And if we're all right for time, I might increase it to 12. So that means you've had exactly the same amount as what we had last week. So with that, I've got nothing more to add than that at the moment. So hopefully, for the people that have watched, you'll know that we're back on tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and I will set the show up this evening. And for the people that know, I will then put up the thing for Friday as well. But yeah, no, thank you very much, everyone, and that's your updates for you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye. Use your